The hotel was named Ravenwood Manor, and was located in the midst of a dark forest. Years ago, strange events had occurred in a field right next to the forest, and many believed that these events were triggered by a curse. Three friends, Rachel, Samuel, and Evelyn, had come to Ravenwood Manor for a week-long vacation. The hotel had an old and Gothic style, but it had captivated them. They spent their first night there comfortably, but things began to change on the second night. Rachel had a terrifying dream. In her dream, the walls of the hotel room were covered in a black mist, and there were eerie symbols drawn in blood at the center of the room. Towards the end of her dream, she felt an approaching shadow. Rachel woke up in a panic, and she noticed that the walls of her room were indeed covered in the same symbols. The other two, upon hearing Rachel's dream, became concerned, but they tried to calm her down. They decided to gather more information about the hotel's history. When they visited the hotel's museum, Rachel, Samuel, and Evelyn learned about the stories of the cursed fields right next to the forest. Years ago, a witch had been buried deep in the forest, and she had foretold that a rotten crop would grow in those fields as part of the curse. The symbols had been etched into the fields as part of this curse. This information made Rachel, Samuel, and Evelyn believe that the symbols in their rooms and the dream were indeed connected to the hotel's history. They decided to end this curse and set out towards the fields. When they reached the fields, they saw that the symbols were present in the fields as well, and there were strange markings on the crops. The three of them stood in the center of the symbols, and suddenly, the ground began to shake, the earth cracked open, and a demonic entity rose from the ground. The demonic entity approached them, and a terrifying battle ensued. Rachel, Samuel, and Evelyn tried to repel the demon using the power of the symbols, but the entity was relentless. After a long struggle, the demon's power began to wane, and it finally retreated into the earth. The three friends, when they looked at the fields again, saw that the symbols had disappeared, and their crops were now normal. The curse of the witch seemed to have finally ended. They returned to their hotel rooms, tired and shaken. However, when they entered their rooms, they saw that the symbols had completely vanished. The curse of the witch had finally been lifted. Rachel, Samuel, and Evelyn breathed a sigh of relief and left behind the terrifying moments in the hotel. But they knew that Ravenwood Manor still held many secrets, and perhaps, one day, they would want to uncover those secrets.